Okay, so those are the winners. Active, creative, traveler. What about the neutral zone?
Gardening, yoga, cooking, playing music, they're safe. Nobody's going to be blown away, but nobody's going to judge you.
Okay, I want to start today by putting you in a very specific, high-pressure situation.
Hmm.
And honestly, just picturing this makes my palms sweat a little bit.
Oh, this sounds promising. Go on, set the scene.
You are at a party in the U.S., a classic mixer. Maybe it's a friend's backyard barbecue or, a networking event
Hmm.
with that lukewarm wine.
I know that why.
You're holding a plastic cup, music's a little too loud, and you're standing across from a stranger. Now, you've already survived the first hurdle. You successfully navigated the "what do you do for work" question.
Which is a whole minefield in itself.
Totally. But you did it. You gave your little elevator pitch. You defined your economic value to society. Your public identity is, established.
Right, step one complete. You've justified your existence to the capitalist machine. You are a productive member of society.
Exactly. So you take a sip of your drink. You're thinking you're safe. The interrogation is over. But then the person across from you smiles, that terrifyingly friendly, expectant American smile, and asks the follow-up.
Oh, I know this question.
The gleaming, innocent-sounding question, so, what do you do for fun?
And cue the internal scream.
Total freeze. Because if you're being honest, truly vulnerable and real, the answer is probably something like, I go home, I eat dinner, I scroll through my phone until my eyes burn, then I sleep.
Which is, let's be real, what most of us actually do. We are tired.
Right. But in that moment, staring at that expectant face, you just know that's the wrong answer. You physically cannot say, I stare at my phone and dissociate. And while you're hesitating, the person opposite you just launches into this monologue.
Oh yeah, they're ready.
Oh, I've been really into trail running lately, training for a half marathon in the Rockies, and on weekends I do wheel-thrown pottery. Also, I just started fermenting my own hot sauce.
Using peppers I grew on my fire escape, and you're just standing there thinking, do you not need sleep? Are you a robot?
Exactly. And that is what we're unpacking in this deep dive. Because here's the secret, the thing we found in the research. That person, they might only do those things, like once a month, but they have mastered something essential.
They've learned to perform their hobbies as an identity.
We're calling this the hobby-industrial complex.
It sounds a little dystopian when you put it that way, the hobby-industrial complex.
It feels that way. Because in many cultures, leisure is just leisure. It's rest. It's family, food, doing absolutely nothing.
But the consensus seems to be that in the U.S., leisure has been optimized. Hobbies aren't just for relaxation anymore. They're identity markers. They're a form of social currency.
So today we're going to dive into why Americans feel this need to turn their free time into a secondary resume. And we're going to talk about why admitting you watch Netflix is basically social suicide.
It really is, isn't it?
And we are going to give you the absolute magic phrase, the cheat code, really, to sound interesting without actually being an expert in anything.
I love a good cheat code. But let's start with the psychology here. Why is this question, what do you do for fun?
Why is it so heavy? Why does it feel like such a trap?
It feels like a trap because of how American life is sort of compartmentalized. We've got this really rigid work-life binary. Right, we've talked about this. Your job defines your public self. I'm an accountant, I'm a teacher, that's the work self. But when you clock out, that definition just vanishes.
And it leaves this massive vacuum for everything else. So the fun question isn't actually about enjoyment. It's code.
Code for what, exactly?
It's code for who are you when the office is closed.
Exactly. And because of that vacuum, having no quick, curated answer, it sort of implies you have no personality. If you don't have a thing, you're seen as just empty space.
It's almost like if you aren't producing something or achieving something in your off hours, do you even exist?
It's a terrifying amount of pressure for a casual chat over chips and salsa.
It is. And it leads to this obsession with being an interesting person.
Yeah.
In America, being interesting is a status symbol. And interesting people have specific curated interests.
Okay, let's play this out. I want to test this. You be the normal person, the uncurated person, and I'll tell you why you're failing the social test.
Okay, I'm ready. Judge me harshly.
So, what do you do for fun?
I like reading. Okay. Wrong answer.
What? Everyone likes reading. It's intellectual.
That's the problem. It's too safe. It doesn't get you any social points. I like reading is vague. It doesn't tell me who you are. Are you reading, I don't know, trashy romance novels?
Yeah.
Astrophysics textbooks?
It's a passive statement.
It is. So how do you fix it? How do you make sitting in a chair looking at paper sound interesting?
Okay, hit me.
You need specificity, and you need curation. So instead of "I like reading," you say, "I'm working through every Haruki Murakami novel in chronological order right now."
Oh, wow. Okay. That sounds like a project.
Exactly. Or, "I'm really into Japanese crime fiction." See the difference? I like reading. It's just the thing you do. I am working through Murakami. That implies intent. It's peak hobby presentation.
It really is a performance. And you see this in the language, right? This is something I found fascinating. The grammar of American identity actually flips from verbs to nouns.
This is a huge aha moment for people.
Hmm.
It's a subtle linguistic shift, but it changes everything. Americans don't just do things, they become the thing. Walk me through that.
Okay, take running. In a lot of places, you might say, I run sometimes to stay in shape. It's an action, a verb, something you do on a Tuesday.
Right.
But here, you are a runner. It's a noun. It's a label you wear.
I see. So I don't just like eating tacos.
No, absolutely not. You are a foodie.
And I don't just like camping on the weekends.
You are outdoorsy.
Outdoorsy is a big one. I hear that constantly.
It's massive. And think about what that one word signals. If you say, I'm outdoorsy, you're not just saying you like fresh air. You are signaling a whole lifestyle consumption package.
What do you mean?
You're signaling that you probably own a Patagonia jacket. You have strong opinions on which national park is the best. You definitely own a Nalgene water bottle covered in stickers.
It's a package deal. The noun implies the gear.
It does. It implies a tribe. And this is why dating apps have entire sections for hobbies. Before you even say hello, you're scanning their profile to see if their noun matches your noun.
But surely not all hobbies are created equal, right? I mean, if we're performing identity, there has to be a scoreboard.
Oh, there is definitely an unspoken hierarchy of cool. Not all nouns get you the same amount of social credit.
Okay, take us to the top of the pyramid. What are the high-status hobbies right now?
At the very top, you have that active and outdoorsy category. Hiking, rock climbing, skiing, surfing.
The active lifestyle crowd.
Exactly. Active lifestyle is a phrase you will hear constantly. It signals health, energy, and frankly, it often signals a certain economic status. Skiing isn't cheap.
That makes sense. What else is up there?
Then you have the creative and hands-on category, pottery, woodworking, baking sourdough. This signals that you're a creator, not just a consumer. In a digital world, making something with your hands is very high status.
And where does travel fit in?
Travel is the king. It's the #1 hobby listed on American dating profiles. I love to travel. It signals openness, curiosity, and, again, disposable income.
Okay, so those are the winners. Active, creative, traveler. What about the neutral zone?
Gardening, yoga, cooking, playing music. They're safe. Nobody's going to be blown away, but nobody's going to judge you. They're respectable, solid answers.
Okay, now we have to talk about the danger zone. The forbidden truths.
The things we actually do.
Right. Because if I'm honest, my favorite hobby is lying on the couch watching 3 seasons of a show in one weekend.
And in the American context, you just cannot say that.
But why? It's the truth.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. I know for a fact that the person claiming to be a rock climber also watched The Bear in 2 days.
Of course they did, but admitting I watch Netflix as your primary hobby, it sounds like you've given up on life. It's culturally interpreted as, I am passive.
It's like answering what's your favorite food. With food, it's too generic.
Exactly. It implies you have no drive, and saying, I just hang out, which is technically the most common leisure activity in human history, sounds like you have nothing going on.
That is so harsh. What about video games? I feel like that's changing, isn't it?
It is changing, but there's a sharp generational divide. If you're younger, claiming gamer as an identity is totally valid, even cool. It suggests community skill. But for older generations, it's often still seen as unproductive, a waste of time.
Okay, so we've established the pressure. We know we need a noun. But what if, and I'm speaking for the listener here, what if I'm not a potter? What if I'm not a marathon runner? Do I just have to lie?
No, you do not have to lie. Please don't lie, you'll get caught. You just need to use the magic phrase.
The magic phrase. This is my favorite part of the research. What is it?
The phrase is, I've been really into topic lately.
I've been really into lately. Okay, break that down for me. Why does that work so well?
It's doing 2 very specific things. First, the word lately. That is your escape hatch. It means this is a current interest. You are not claiming to be an expert. You could have started last Tuesday.
Right. It lowers the barrier to entry. And the second part.
Really into. That signals enthusiasm. And Americans love enthusiasm more than they love expertise. We forgive a lack of skill if you have high energy. You don't have to be good at it, you just have to be excited about it.
Okay, let's role play this. I want to see how much I can get away with.
Go for it.
Okay. I've been really into sourdough lately.
Translation. You bought a starter 3 weeks ago, you made 2 loaves, one of them was a literal brick, and you haven't touched it since. But socially, you're a baker.
Incredible. Okay, how about I've been really into pickleball lately.
Translation. You played twice with a friend's spare paddle, and you were thinking about buying your own, but you haven't actually done it yet.
It's amazing. It makes you sound so active, but the bar is actually so low.
It is, and this feeds into the whole hobby cycle thing. Americans are notorious for this. We discover something, we obsess over it, we buy all the gear immediately, post it on social media, and then we quietly drop it a month later.
And that's okay. You don't lose status for quitting.
It is totally normal behavior. It is accepted. You get the social credit for the discovery phase. Nobody checks back in 6 months to see if you're still fermenting that hot sauce.
That is a relief. But there's another side to this that I find kind of exhausting. We've talked about performing for status, but what about performing for money?
Ah, yes, the side hustle blur.
Can't I just have a hobby for fun? Why does everything have to become a business?
It's that Protestant work ethic mixed with modern gig economy capitalism. We're wired to believe that fun should ideally also be profitable, or at least productive.
Give me some examples of how this creeps into conversation.
Okay, say you tell someone, I make candles. The immediate thought, and often the immediate question is, oh, are you selling them on Etsy? Is this a business?
Or I take photos.
Oh, are you building a portfolio? Do you do weddings?
I started a podcast.
Are you trying to get sponsors? Are you an influencer? It's like, we can't just exist. We can't just be mediocre at something for the joy of it.
We really struggle with pure rest, don't we?
We feel guilt if our time doesn't have an ROI, a return on investment. So we try to legitimize our fun by turning it into a hustle. If I make money from it, then it wasn't a waste of time.
And I bet listeners have heard this. If you share a creative hobby with an American, they will almost eventually hear the question, have you thought about selling those?
100%. And I want you to know, that question is meant as a compliment. They're not trying to stress you out. They're saying your work is good enough to have monetary value. But it comes from this deep cultural inability to just let a hobby be a hobby.
So we've got the psychology, the grammar, the hustle. Let's get practical. I'm back at that party holding my drink. Someone asked me, what do you do for fun?
Yeah.
How do I survive this conversation?
Okay, here's the winning formula. First rule, do not list a resume. Don't give me a bulleted list of 10 things you kind of like.
Keep it focused.
Pick one thing, maybe 2. And this is the key. Add a specific detail. The detail is the hook.
Okay, let's do a bad versus good contrast again.
Okay, bad answer. I like cooking.
Why is it bad?
Too broad. Everyone says it. It's boring. It gives me nothing to grab onto.
Okay, good answer.
I've been really experimenting with Thai curries from scratch lately, like pounding my own curry paste with a mortar and pestle and everything.
Oh, I see. The mortar and pestle detail. That paints a picture. I can see you in the kitchen.
Exactly. It shows passion. It gives us something to talk about. Is it spicy? Where do you get galangal? It opens doors.
Okay, let's try the hard one, the Netflix problem. Because people do watch TV. How do you make that sound interesting?
Bad answer. I watch shows.
Deadly. Conversation over.
Good answer. I just finished this incredible Korean drama. Have you gotten into K-dramas at all? The storytelling is totally different from American shows.
Smooth.
Ah.
You pivoted from I sit on my couch to I am a cultural critic analyzing international storytelling.
Exactly. You elevated the material. And most importantly, you invited them into the conversation, which brings us to the reciprocity rule.
Which is?
Always ask back. After you drop your specific detail, immediately pivot. What about you? Are you into anything fun lately?
It saves you from the interrogation spotlight.
Yes. And it turns it into a tennis match, which is what conversation should be. You hit the ball over, they hit it back.
Now, before we wrap up, we need a decoder ring for the reaction. Because no matter what I say, bird watching, axe throwing, whatever, I feel like I always get the same reaction.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes. They always say, oh, that's so cool, even if it's weird. Even if I can tell they don't actually care.
This is what we call social warmth. Do not mistake this for deep interest.
Wait, they don't actually think it's cool?
They might think it's fine, but that's so cool is a reflex. It's filler, supportive noise. It does not mean they want you to explain the history of lunchbox manufacturing for the next 45 minutes.
That is a crucial warning. Do not trap them in the corner.
Keep it moving. And be careful of the fake invitation.
We should do that together sometime.
Yes. If you say you go hiking and they say, oh, we should totally go hiking sometime, the decoder says, that sounds fun in theory, but I have no intention of actually scheduling this.
It's a fantasy plot.
It is. Unless they pull out their phone right then and there to pick a date, treat it as a polite fiction. It's just a way of saying, I like you enough to imagine spending time with you.
It's the hobby version of let's do lunch.
Precisely.
Okay, this has been honestly a little exposing.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to go curate my own hobbies now. I feel the need to go buy some hiking boots just to put by the door so people think I'm active.
Right. I'm looking at my Netflix queue and thinking, how do I frame this as a research project?
So let's recap for everyone before we let them go. Hobbies in America are identity. What do you do for fun is really asking, who are you?
And specificity is key. Don't be a reader. Be into Japanese crime fiction.
Use the magic phrase. I've been really into X lately. It signals enthusiasm without requiring expertise.
And watch out for that side hustle trap. You do not have to monetize your joy, even if people ask.
And finally, remember that when they say, that's so cool, they're just being polite. Don't lecture them.
Exactly. Read the room.
Here's a thought I want to leave you with today. We talked about the hobby industrial complex, and it raises a bigger question. Are we actually enjoying our free time? Or are we just curating it to make sure we sound like interesting people at parties?
That is the real question. If you didn't have to tell anyone about your hobby, if you could never post about it, never mention it, would you still do it?
Oof, that's a good one. Something to think about while you're pretending to train for that marathon. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
See you next time.